Welcome back to the 101, the show for small businesses and entrepreneurs. I'm Michael Morris, and today I've got a guest with me, Adam Coriell. Adam, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here. We have an associate in common, Rachel Ryder, who put us in touch. And so we were looking at your website, and I thought this is a perfect time for you to come on because it's not like you're brand new, but you're starting to grow. And this show is all about people that want to start their own businesses or that are involved in it. What we want to do is make sure that if someone's listening to someone like yourself, they know the growing pains, when you start to grow, and where you want to go. So that's all we're going to do today with you. Are you good with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So why don't you give people a little background on who you are?
I guess who I am. I grew up. I was more of an overweight kid. Got involved in bodybuilding early on and martial arts. Loved all the 80s movies, Arnold, Rocky, Van Damme.
You're a big fan of the Cobra Kai?
Yeah, right. Sweep the leg, Johnny, No, it was, I just fell in love with it, man. And I grew up in a gym. I was always overweight, and it made me feel better working out. And then I got onto the nutrition realm. I mean, at 14, I had pictures of myself posing in my backfield, like under lighting and stuff, just training myself for now what I've morphed into. I have some titles, and I was a national kickboxing champ at 19. Last year I won the Mike Francois Classic. I was the first overall classic physique champ. I won in my class in Pittsburgh that past year. So I then launched my business just feeling like, hey, you know what? I have the titles now that I can actually, fully understand how to help someone reach their goal, because I've done it just for the last 20 years. So that's what I do.
Let me ask you, so you won these titles, and then when you said you had them, then you thought you could launch a business. Were you already going to do that before this, or was one thing a stepping stone to the other?
It's always been an attraction to me, obviously, because it's a passion of mine. I was in the corporate world for a financial company for 10 years, living in a cubicle, bringing my water jug and all my 6 meals to work, like people just looked at me, just frown, like, what are you doing here? And the thing is just anybody can go get a certification, I feel, these days in training, and or do one competition and say they're a guru. Well, and then start putting out information on social media and just regurgitating information they don't even know about diets, or just, and I just felt like, when I'm putting my name on this, and this is all about, my passion, and I just wouldn't feel right selling to somebody if I haven't ran into all the problems we're going to run into to maximize reaching your goal. So that's kind of the route I went once I had the titles. I no longer worked at the business or at the corporation, and then I just launched my business and I went for it.
So when you were in the corporate structure, and you started to give me kind of chills when you said cubicle and other people, like that, to me, that's the world I came from, and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And we've had people on every time that have had the similar story, but I want to know your perspective. You're leaving that world and you're telling people I'm going to launch my own business. And you're you're a younger guy. So when you're giving that up, are people telling you, like, you need to stay for the benefits, and it's, you've got a guaranteed job, just do that, and this is your passion? Like, did you feel fear in doing that?
Well, it was something that, I was just put in a position, I had to make a decision, and once I left that company, I competed in my final contests, and then I won. And so I felt like, okay, it's time. I don't need to go back. So I decided, I had some savings. I had, some 401. I said, you know what? Now's the time before I have a family, and I can build this thing, and it's just me. I'm single, so it's like, now I have to do it. I don't need to wait 5 years and then finally decide to do this when I have a child, I have a wife, I have more responsibility, I got to take care of everybody. This is the time to do this. I have the titles. Time is now. So that's when I did it.
I wish I would have done it your way. Instead, I did the exact opposite when I had a house and a child and that kind of thing. But so when you decide to start, what do you start with? You've got this money. Do you buy a building? Are you are you, like, you've got a goal in mind to get this up and running. What are the first steps you took?
Well, I had already been involved in social media from the fitness industry. I was with All Max Nutrition, you know, and you be in the fitness industry, I'm sure people from the outside look at, oh, this person keeps posting a picture of themselves to get gratification. How many likes do they get? It's an emotional tie. For some it is. For me, it was more about marketing and learning the business and pushing the product that I believed in, because I did believe in the company I was with, All Max Nutrition. But then it came down to, okay, now I have this model. Now I want to take it from about me and posting pictures and everything to segueing it into my business. And then it became more about my business and business mind than about me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And I use this. It came into, here's what I can offer you. I can save you plenty of time. You know, I basically give you the cliff notes from each industry. From the bodybuilding and fitness industry, I got nutrition, and then
you got your self-defense,
and then martial arts. Right. I created my own self-defense class, because when I started taking martial arts, I didn't want to learn katas. I didn't want to learn fake stuff. I didn't want to, you know, how many months do I have to be here to learn a good belt? I want full contact. I want stuff I can actually use. So that's what I offer to my self-defense people. You don't have to be in karate classes, or I don't want to, you know, isolate karate. I'm just saying these things where you go get belts, this, that, and the other, keeps you coming to the school. What I want to do is, or what I do is I come into either a corporation, or, you know, there's a small group of individuals, like maybe there's a bachelor party or a bachelorette party, and they want to do something during the day before they go out and party and enjoy themselves. It's like a team building event. So what I do is I give you the cliff notes of the best full contact, most usable techniques to, you know, if you, God forbid, you ever get in a situation that you have to defend yourself, you can. And that doesn't take years and years, because what I do is I pulled a technique from each style. I teach you how to execute it, get in certain mind states to just explode during throwing the strike, and just, you know, train you to protect yourself.
So I see that you have something for basically, it looks like all ages and all groups, even, not just individual.
Yes, sir.
So when you build that business, you have to market it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you started, I'm sure you started with maybe just a small group of people you knew or were able to reach out to. Were there growing pains in doing that?
Honestly, like, I had to find my niche, you know, and I think I've been in business over about a year in August. And this thing takes time. I mean, for the other entrepreneurs out there, or whoever's trying to start their own business, it's just you and you alone. And there's so many moving parts. And then there's things you don't know how to do. How do I market? Who do I contact for this? Who can I do to build my website? So all these things are just little infant babies, I guess, that you got to help crawl first, and then grow, and then learn how to walk, and then you can run. You know, but you gotta stay positive through it is the main thing, and believe in and keep asking yourself, you know, what is it do I want to project? Who do I want to help? What do I want to share? And you just keep asking yourself those questions as you go along, and you'll eventually, you're gonna fall down a lot. You know, maybe someone won't even show up to a class one time, but that's part of it, because that's what makes the journey. You know, you learn. That's what builds you along into the journey to become the person that you need to become in order to offer the proper product and the proper vision.
But it's a 24-hour-a-day gig.
24/7.
And now it's not like you're able to relax, right? I mean,
now
it's growing,
yes,
it's more time.
Yes. Now with the launching of the apparel, the self-defense classes that are scheduled in small groups, and then I have a handful of clients I just kept as, you know, because they're good friends, this, that, and the other. And so I get up and train them in the morning. Then I usually have gaps throughout the day. Then I have my own training also. I mean, I have a training on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a couple of my buddies. If you follow my social media, me and Pete, we do a tip of the week. What that is I show a self-defense technique, and then I instruct it, you know, walk you through it. And then I have Pete do it on me 100%. Full go, because I want to show that.
Wait, how many times is this? Twice a week?
It's usually once a week.
Okay, good. Because if it was twice a week and someone's throwing a punch at you, I would feel bad.
Oh, we spar all week.
Okay.
So I am, yeah.
I just thought that's a different business model than anyone we've had on. We haven't had anyone get punched in their face at least once a week. But I'm glad you're here for that. We have that experience now.
Right, yeah. So anyway, what I was going into is just that, that's kind of like my private training. So I have my own, so I'm constantly trying to improve myself. So I meditate a lot. I do yoga. Then on top of that, all the bodybuilding and the martial arts. I'm trying to keep growing myself in that direction and then pass it on to others. So it's so much easier for them than what took me 20 years to learn and become.
But it helps that this is your passion too, right?
Absolutely. I'm addicted to it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've tried to walk away from bodybuilding before. In my early 20s, I was doing pretty good. I was sponsored with Muscle Mania. They flew me down to Miami, this, that, and the other. And then I just walked away from the industry because at that time it was like you had to be Ronnie Coleman, which is like the biggest bodybuilder ever. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And then I just, went back to the corporate world. And that's when I started my corporate journey. But then I just kept getting drawn back into the weights, and the martial arts. So it's like I couldn't get away from it if I wanted. But now it's like I'm done competing. I'm done with all that. Now it's time to share and help people the best I can, make more people healthy. Because with what's going on with our food industry and things that aren't whole foods, the chemicals that are added, this, that, and the other, I feel like I kind of I've gone through a lot of the things I've gone through so I can help a lot of people or educate people to make just better choices.
Well, that's what your website really is about. I mean, it's really not about you. Like, the About Us section is very short. Yeah. But everything else is geared towards you giving back to somebody else. So I can tell.
Absolutely.
Because I saw a lot of your stuff previous to this.
Okay.
So but I hadn't seen the website. So when you look at the website, it's like a whole new branch of what you're doing. I can see how that's appealing, and it seems like it can fit any age group.
Absolutely.
Was that the intention in the beginning?
Well, the whole thing is, and they explain like elite being. Okay, basically what it is, I'm not the elite being. It's the elite being training. So what I have is different. Basically, I cherry pick the best parts of each group: fitness world, nutrition, martial arts. And the journey that I'm always going to be taking that I can keep adding in is to deal with the mind, because the mind and martial arts and the meditation and the vibes that you put out into the world, that has huge impacts that people underestimate. And so my passion is just give everybody a couple things, just maybe even a small tap on the shoulder to say, maybe look at it this way. And they can keep growing mentally and physically, because we're constantly dealing with all this negativity and people trying to influence others, and Instagram, this, that, and the other, that we need to worry about the generation behind us that's coming up, because everyone's got a phone, and these kids, I train 2 kids that are like 15, 16, they're on Instagram, and what are you constantly being done to your thoughts? You're being influenced. You're constantly flipping through, and it's brainwashing you on what you follow and what you like. So if I'm a 12, 13-year-old girl and everyone's posting, these shots in the gym, or, the booty pics or this, that, and the other, at that age, the young adolescent is so influenced by those things, and then grow to be insecure at a young age, and it's bad, So I think we really need to watch what we're putting out there, and I'm just trying to be more of a positive light and help people understand different things, and just try to be a little more safe as far as what you're ingesting in your body.
So how does that work in terms of, you've got to make revenue, you've got a business. So how does that work with your people? Because it seems like there'll be long-term people. Once you get somebody, I don't want to say signed up, because it's not a gym, it's more of like a lifestyle.
Exactly. Yeah, basically, I throw myself 100% in my work. And I'm genuine. I'm pretty, I can't lie about anything. I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not really a salesman. I've had some people sit there, try to barter with me, even before they've had my service, and I won't budge. I'm always work with somebody that has the passion and really wants to do something and I can look at them as a project like, hey, I can help this person. Not, okay, your meal plans are this, how about, and then start cutting it down, because it's like, you don't even know what I offer yet. So with that said, you know, I basically put that, I have to make revenue, I have to make a living, of course, but, you know, I offer something totally different, you know, and when I charge $30 for a self-defense session, that's an hour and a half, and you get to hit pads and I'm physically involved, I'm getting hit on. I mean, I don't think that's that much, when a personal training session at a high-end facility is like $45 for a half hour.
I thought you were going to say it was $30 for like 30 minutes. So
No.
that doesn't seem like much at all.
No. And that's why I do it in groups. And what's cool about the groups is the energy. Like, it's not just me and you hitting pads. There's a lot of energy there, but when you have a group of like 8 to 10 people, the place lights up. Everybody comes in the beginning of the class. Everyone's kind of like nervous, looking at me like, well, I got 2 things to overcome. I got to either overcome, does this guy know what he's doing? Or is this stuff really usable, you know? So by the end of the class, everybody's yelling, everybody's cheering each other on to hit the pads, and just, it's a great experience.
Well, I'm going to take a break because we've been going for 16 minutes, but we're going to take a break right now. You're listening to the 101. Come back and talk about your competition. And I want you to tell me why you're different.
Okay.
So not to bash them, but you're going to say, like, meal plan one, because we run into like 5 or 6 people that they do meal plans online and all that. But you're not spending any time with them.
Right.
Right? So you're going to spend time with your people.
Yeah, typically I offer coaching too.
Okay.
So that's more hands-on. I will write meal plans, but.
And then I also want you to plug your website.
Okay.
And you can talk about
I was going to ask you that. Are you going to have him plug his website?
Yeah. Well, he started going somewhere, and I want to let him go.
Yeah, oh, yeah, of course.
And where I've been going, is that all good?
Yeah, that's where I want to go. Like,
okay.
But what I want you to do is I want you to hit your website, talk about your apparel at the same time, like that you can see that stuff on there.
Hey, you sound fine. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's not doing the thing that Travis did.
Okay. Oh, your buddy.
Yeah.
The talker who was like way back here.
Swinging past the microphone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ready to roll?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome back to the 101. We're here talking to Adam Coriell. Adam, I wanted you to plug your website and also why someone should go to your website right now.
Okay. Basically, elitebeingtraining.com. Basically, you can go on there, see all the services I offer. We just launched the apparel on the website, so if you'd like to order anything, you can also do that through the website. But it just breaks down, my meal plans I offer, which are just not, I will do meal plans where I will send out a meal plan and we have correspondence, to get you where you need to go. I also offer coaching, which is where I'm basically on call 24/7 for you. If you have a breakdown at the wedding and that you need all the cake and you're just ready to eat everything, sometimes people just need someone to talk to when they're at their weakest. And that's what I do, help reel them back in. And then, of course, I have the group self-defense classes that are listed on there.
Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, we got the business part out.
Right.
Here's what I want to talk about. Where do you want to go from here? So you've got your self-defense, you've got your coaching, you've got nutrition, you've got all that. Where do you want to go? You obviously want to grow from where you're at, right?
Correct. Yeah, basically where I want to go, I want to, the reason my self-defense class is called Fully Empowered. So one of my passions right now, and I see a great need for, is empowering a lot of individuals within Columbus. We have a lot of realtors. We have corporations that, we could offer this to. Just basically, you shouldn't have to walk around scared. You should walk around prepared just in case. Just like my nutrition, it's like, let me help you make a better choice.
Well, you don't have to prepare if you're already prepared.
Right.
That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it. So basically,
put that on a shirt. That could be your saying.
Okay, we're gonna write that down. No, but that's just it. I couldn't believe when I walk into these classes and after I've done the class and how many women thank me or how many men thank me because they're like, I get nervous to walk to my car at night. I don't think about that. I haven't walked to I usually, I know if I'm in a bad area, it's like, okay, I got to get out of here. Like, this is not cool. I do not need to be here right now. But like a female or a male, like sometimes, you know, it's just scary. Like, wait a minute, what's that guy over there at the other end of the parking lot? He looks kind of like he's tweaked out or something like that. And you're like, I got to get to my car. You know, is this guy going to try something? And then it's like, what now? You just hope, you know, or everybody thinks the CCW, the concealed carry, is the way to go. I'm not against guns. I grew up handguns, everything, but also you bring a gun to the party that may not have been, that didn't need to be there. Right. So there's always things that can happen.
You're escalating it rather than mitigating the circumstances.
Right, because a lot of times we find that some people won't execute when they need to in a peak situation. So that's kind of like my training is like, let's get your hand-to-hand combat going, and if you feel you need to still carry a gun, that I'm totally cool with that. That's your decision. But I'm here to show you some good strikes, some good things to help defend yourself or your family if need be.
Who is the ideal? Is it better to get individuals, or would you rather go to, I don't know a way to phrase this, but let's say you've got a corporation that's in a rougher area, or there's a lot of crime that's going on because of these opioids, where people are going into neighborhoods and breaking into houses, or if they see a garage door open. I mean, is that more you want a corporation, or go to you get a neighborhood full of people? I'm not saying you want to turn everybody into that movie The Warriors. I'm just saying there has to be, for you, it seems like groups are the way to go. So how do you get them?
Basically, just did a Remax location in Gahanna. Basically, you know, I go in with a flyer, I can show you some trailers, talk to the management there, and we set up a group training. And to be honest, it's the best team building thing I think I've ever experienced, even being in the corporate world for 10 years, because everyone gets involved and everybody gets high peak energy and it's fun. I mean, who doesn't like hitting stuff? I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, and we're doing it safely, and I'm teaching you to do it effectively. So I think that's the group trainings are definitely the target. And it's better for everyone in the experience. Some people seem to not want to sign up for classes if maybe not all their friends are going, but if I got a group of buddies, you know, hey guys, we got an afternoon, instead of maybe an afternoon of golf, why don't we go learn to hit stuff? You know, and you know, everyone wants to know more these days, especially with everything that's going on.
Right. Are you the person, I mean, you're generating these leads, right? You're not waiting for these people to come to you. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but I would think you don't seem to be the type that sits in a lawn chair and waits till someone walks in the door.
No, I try to market through social media. Referrals huge, because once somebody takes my class, they're not going to tell you that I won't do that again, or that was terrible. It's just so it's just growing on itself, continuing on getting inquiries every day. You know, so and I keep putting stuff out there, and I try to put out professional stuff, because that's what I am. I'm professional at my job. This isn't, you know, I'm not your typical trainer, or maybe with this stereotype of a trainer, you know.
Well, it's not your job. The way you're describing it's not a job, it's your life. It is a lifestyle.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
People that have a job want to know when it ends that day. Like, you aren't doing that. You're saying, I'm going to do this every minute of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I was editing videos till 1 a.m. last night, and I got up at 6 o'clock. So this is what I do, bro.
Right. But that's what I think people need to hear is, this is definitely your passion, and this is what you're really, morning, noon, and night, this is what you want to do. And
I feel like this is what I'm here for.
But you created your own career. You created versus somebody giving it to you, so it means so much more. And,
absolutely.
And somebody that's sitting out there, the reason I want people like you to come on is, if you will give everything you've got to what you want to do, you will be successful. I mean, you're already successful. The trophies didn't matter. That's what opened the door for you mentally to know you had certification to do it.
Absolutely.
But past that, you've got to create everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best advice I can give is do everything. If I could tell anybody, you know, it's going to struggle, it's going to hurt, you're going to question yourself, everything like that. Keep asking yourself the questions. Quit looking for external justifications from people, you know, because you'll get the answer within, and do whatever you can except hurt people. If it doesn't hurt someone, you're perfect. Then do whatever it takes.
I think that's the key, without hurting people, unless necessary.
Right.
We would promote
unless
that.
we need to defend ourselves.
Yes, unless you have to do it, then it's okay.
Exactly.
Cool. Can you hit your website one more time and
that's
just tell people?
Being elitebeingtraining.com.
And they can contact you directly on that.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Adam, I want to thank you for coming on today. And somewhere down the line, as this grows, I'd like to have you come back and kind of tell us where you were from today until the next time you come back. Is that cool?
Absolutely. I'd be honored.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
That's elitebeingtraining.com.